2024, a year of the underdog. 12 months of drama, action, and unexpected lineup changes. Oh yeah, that one as well. But today, let me be unironically sappy for once. It's the end of the year. If you're at all connected to the real world, you might be asking yourself, how's that even a fucking question? But based on the comments I tend to get, I sometimes understand that for my audience, it's not a given. But I don't blame you, lads. You reap what you sow. Last year, I realised that I missed all of Easter only because I stumbled across some colourful egg candy in the discount aisle at Lidl. And that was in June.
So is there any other sport you beat him at? Is it just golf?
Golf, chess, paddle, tennis. Say any sport, I'm better.
Not racing.
1 second, please.
If he is winning, I am not racing Sunday.
Okay, which one you think is better? So, this is Carlos and this is Charles. Which one's better? This one?
Yeah. Come on.
This is the winner.
I knew
Charles,
it.
I didn't hear anyone.
Congratulations, Charles.
But with this year coming to an inevitable close, finally, this year, as in every year, I tried to reflect on what had happened in the past 12 months. But typically, that is just limited to me realizing I need a new calendar on my wall, and for 6 minutes I wallow in silence questioning how the fuck have I survived another year. This year, I wanted to be a bit more monumental in my reflections. And what better way to do that than to look back and think over what has occurred in this year's F1 season, and remember all of the iconic moments it had brought our way. The sudden dominance shifts in the sport, the rises and the falls of personalities and whole teams, scandals, fights, feuds, and drama. I'm actually pretty excited about this one, because I feel like there's just so much ground to cover in F1. Also, this is way more fun than reflecting on my own life, because the most iconic thing that happened to me in 2024 was that I ended up upgrading my microphone. And none of y'all even noticed that, you fucking sons of bitches. Before we start, at the very beginning of the season, I want to set the scene. It's 2024. The first Grand Prix is approaching, the first race in the year, following the bloodbath that was all of last season. By then, most of us had already sobered up from the high of the Mercedes team finally being defeated by Max in the fight of the century back in 2021. It was fucking biblical, mate. Having witnessed the hell on earth that was 2023, we were all quite aware that Red Bull is the new Mercedes. An even more horrible version of it as well. I didn't even know that was fucking possible, but there you go. And with the first few races underway, it didn't seem like anything had changed over the holidays. Even the extra pounds Max put on over Christmas didn't seem to make a difference. From the outset, the only actual positive thing was the strong showing Ferrari had brought to the track. They really hit the ground running with 2 podiums and a 1-2 to close out March. A fucking force to be reckoned with. Or so we thought. It's Ferrari. So, of course, everything went wrong. As we entered May, the McLaren era had begun. As we landed in Miami, dreams became reality and Lando Norris finally put himself on the map with the first victory in the sport. A dominant one at that. I think that was the last time I was in tears after an F1 Grand Prix. No, that's not true. I also cried in the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. How can you not when a dude spins out in a fucking formation lap? Like, come on. I know it's Stroll and that's something we should expect at this point, but it was too fucking funny, mate. Also, that was the only Grand Prix Trump attended. And suddenly, from there on, Lando was on fire. Coincidence? I think not. In any case, the McLaren team as a whole was living the dream. From April until September, there was at least one McLaren driver on the podium every single race. That's 14 fucking seasons, mate. I mean races, mate, not seasons. Jesus. I hope I don't look back at this clip 14 years later and fucking say that this is foreshadowing. In any case, the McLaren... Okay, I already read this one. Fuck. Importantly, Verstappen was also still fairly consistent through this period, securing alright points for the RB, which will prove crucial in the remainder of the season. In contrast, the Mexicano was not very consistent at all. Since May, he scored 1/6, 3/7, 3/8, 1/10, 1/17, and 3 DNFs. With that performance in a works Red Bull, I wouldn't even trust him to drive an ice rink machine. In other news, Lewis also managed to win a race in a monumental British Grand Prix. And at that point, we all collectively hoped this would shut off his whining for the remainder of the season. Oh, how wrong we were. And here we are, at the crux of what seemed to be a mega standoff between a 3-time champ and the ultimate fan favourite underdog. The period started with a sudden switch up at the junior RB team, with a Sport saying its farewells to Ricciardo and Lawson stepping in his place, finally full time. I just realised this kid ended up replacing 2 long-term Red Bull drivers in one season. Absolute fucking legend. We all had sat there hoping for the impossible, the dethronement of the king. Can you even say that? Dethronement? Dethroned? Dethroned? To the throne? Dethronement? To the throne? I don't know, whatever. And when it all seemed like the dream may come true this year, they blew it. It was shit. Fucking embarrassing. Lando had a string of bad performances, it was slipping away, and the absolute nail in the coffin was the Brazilian GP. The performance of his career delivered by King Sid himself. You know, in life, there are moments when you overestimate and overreach and you think that you can actually do something worthwhile with your life, you know? But then something happens and you're quickly put in your place and you realize, yep, not gonna happen. Fucking throw in the towel, mate. Let's just go get hammered at a pub and down our sorrows in alcohol. That was the Sao Paulo GP. But it wasn't all for naught. Importantly, the damage had been done and McLaren, by the skin of their teeth, took away the Constructors' Trophy. Not from Red Bull, but from Ferrari. Red Bull did not even finish runner-up. Cheers, Perez. I fucking love you, mate. And that rounds up all of 2024, the whole year. A monumental year. In all honesty, I'd say there are a few important things to take away from this truly iconic year for Formula One. Firstly, the racing has never been better. This is the closest we've gotten to true competition in the modern era of F1. 4 teams, 3.5 to be fair. You really can't count Perez in this one. I'm sorry. 3.5 teams toughing it out, each having their own better tracks that improved their odds throughout the season. The dominant car was shifting across the paddock. You know, it's tough out there. And although the driver standings did not really reflect that well, after all, Max was first from the beginning of testing to the end in Abu Dhabi, in reality, it was anyone's game. And this is huge news, huge positive news that I can take away and makes me even more excited for next season. Secondly, this year also brought a lot of changes to the paddock. We have a lot of fresh faces in 2025. Most importantly, 2 of which are in the top teams. This is not some Williams driver change that you will not notice until we're back in Abu Dhabi in 25 and they're celebrating their first 2 points of the season. Of course, it's not perfect. There are still only 4 teams that can arguably get close to the championship trophy, and Lance will still be on the grid next year, and next year, and the year after that, and the next year, and then the year after that one as well. This is supposed to be a nice and wholesome ending, but it's all going to tits up somehow. Now I'm depressed. Happy New Year's.